Hello everyone, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! From Ohio, and I'm here to bring you a video using the Deckled Circle dies that are new. Well, they were new in our latest catalog that came out, the mini catalog that's good till the end of December. And this is a really cute card. The only thing I have to say about it, it has to take a 6x6 envelope, but it's well worth that. I do want to say it's the last day of the month. It's the last day to be able to sign up for our starter kit under the great promotion that they have. You can get a starter kit for, you can get $125 worth of product that you pick out for $65. Or you can pay $99 and get $167 worth for a starter kit to join Stampin' Up! And I'd love for you to do that with me, and you still have time today to do that. And I want to remind you, the online exclusives will be going live and coming out to you on November 7th, so you'll be watching for those. There's a lot of cute things going on there. And let's see, what else do I want to say? That's about it for the end of the month and stuff right now. I will be offering a special, and I'll be coming back with a video about that, hopefully in a couple days. But right now, I want to show you this card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera down. I'm going to go ahead and do that so we can get started, because it's going to take a little bit of extra time than what I usually do, because I really want to show this card from start to finish without me shortcutting it by already having some of the stuff done. So let me flip my camera. Well, let me flip the camera. There we go. And then we're going to flip it down. And let me make sure on my computer that we got everything going in the right spot. That looks pretty good. It's right there. I do have my camera a little bit high. I'll bring it down for a few minutes. This is the card. Let me get it, and it'll open up like this to where you can sign the inside. And like I said, it will take a 6x6 envelope. Here is my November host code. I know it's the last day of October, but I'm going ahead and starting it. And that is the address to my online store that you can just hit it. You can join there, my team, as I told you about the special, or it says shop now, and you can place an order. Please be sure to use my host code though if you do that. Okay, let's talk about this card. It's done with the circles. It doesn't take a lot of cardstock to do. This is it. It's got 4 pieces. And then it's got a scrap that we're going to be using. And then I had to cut out the dies. So let me show you everything we're using. I will tell you the sizes of the paper as we cut them. But we will be using the Deckled Circle dies. And there are actually, we're going to use 6 of them. So here's the 6 we're using. And then there is, 2, 4, 6, 8 more. There's 14. And the way these are numbered on my directions, 1 is the largest, and you count in. So 1 is going to be our largest, and I will number them 1 through 6, starting with the largest, okay? I do have a PDF on my Facebook group called Stamp Crazy VIP. Here's the directions for this card, and then I also did some visuals on how to lay out the dies and what it looks like cut before you put it together. So this has all what you use and step-by-step instructions for cutting the dies and then layering the card. Tried to make it as easy as I could. We are going to be using 2 stamp sets. We're going to use the Graceful Deer, which is all of this main focus. Merry Christmas, we are going to use out of the Beary Cute, this little Merry Christmas right here. So that is what we are going to be doing. And I also, for the green ring and this little gold piece I cut, is out of the Magical Meadow dies, and it's this die and this die right here. I use these 2. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do before we start with cutting anything is I'm going to ink up my stamps, and we're going to stamp them. The die is a huge stamp. It is a border die. I'm going to move the camera back up just a little bit now. And it is a border die right here. You can use it on an acrylic block to stamp this way. You can have it this way, put your paper on top, or you can use a stamp apparatus. It all depends on what you want to do. We are going to be using the stamp just like this, and then I will be putting it on top. We do need 2 pieces of this cardstock, and it is cut 5.5 by 6. So let me ink that up. We're using Pebbled Path as our color for our deer. I just like that color. Thought it would be something different than using just a brown. So let's go ahead and ink this up. Then I'm going to take a piece of my cardstock and I'm going to lay it right on top of that. And then I'm going to rub. It kind of bounced a little bit. I hope it didn't mess it up. But I'm going to bring in my tool because this really helps to get a good image. Okay, so there we have our image. Looks good to me. I am going to clean the stamp real quick because I'm going to stamp for my inside, and I don't want ink all over the stamp. And I do that because I'm only going to stamp a portion of it. So let's just get that clean for a minute. I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper to do this part with. So let's move this out of our way. Got a lot of stuff in our way over here that doesn't need to be. And there we go. So what I'm going to do is bring this in. And I just want, when I stamp, I just want this corner of my stamp. I'm sorry. I need to bring this down just a hair. Because I only need a corner of the stamp. So let me just ink that up. I get it on his butt, not that I care because I can cut that out, but I still tried to take it off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in. Looked like it had something on the center there. So let's bring this over just a little bit, and I'm going to stamp this right over here in the corner. And then that way I can use that for my inside of my card. So let's set that aside. Let's get the scrap paper out of our way. Now we're ready to start cutting. And then we'll be assembling. The assembling is really, really quick, actually. So our card base is cut 6 by 11. Scored at 5.5 and folded. So I'm going to fold that in and crease it. And I'm going to have to bring my big shot in. So let's do that real quick. And I may have to move the camera up just a little bit more so you'll be able to see everything we need to see on this card. And yep, I think we're going to go up high so we can see this. I'm going to move the card out of the way right now. There we go. Now let's bring in our bases. So here's our bases, and I do have, these are fairly new plates that I put on here because I wanted everything to lay flat to do this card. So I'm going to lay that on my platform of my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to take the largest die and I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to make sure that my circle is in room of the perimeters of the card base, all except for the top. And you don't want it down here because we don't want to cut our card in two, so we just want it to be like that so that we can cut it. So let's put this on. Whoops, let's not drop it. There we go. We got it all centered back up. Not a big deal. Well, we did until I... Probably would help if I would stand up, but I'm not, so... There we go. So let's just run this through. And I'm going to run it back through also because of it going through 2 layers of cardstock, because we have our card folded. So let's bring that out. Here's our... How did I cut that in two? That was not supposed to happen. Did my die move? Let's try that again. That was a blooper and a half, wasn't it? Gracious, gracious. So let's cut a piece of cardstock 6 by 11 again. You know what, I might have had it the wrong edge up there. Very well could have done that. That's not good. Let's just fold this. Make sure we have the right edge up here. See how fun it is to make mistakes. But you know what? We don't edit our mistakes out because we want you to know that we all make mistakes. And it's okay. Now we should be in business. I've cut enough of these that it should be right, but you never know when you're not paying attention. And then back. My desk is slick, so this thing has a hard time staying put. Let me move that a minute. Now let's see if we have our cards. Sure we do. Same amount of that is just odd that I had that like that. Don't get it. But here's our card. It does open and fold, so we're in good business there. So we're done with our die number 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to bring in our piece with the complete deer image like this. And we are going to use dies 2, 4, and 6 on it. And we're going to cut those all at one time. So I'm going to go to, this is number 2. Whoops. Lay it down the right way. And it will fit on there. You can decide where you want that. Then we're going to use 4, which will make sure that that's kind of even all the way around. And then we're going to use number 6. I did see this card done by someone else, and she didn't do her cutting like this. When I did her video, I thought her card looked a little bit more complicated, and I think a lot of it was because of, she had you cut everything like, this would have been cut 3 times instead of just once. Now, when you have this on here, you can take washi tape and do that so your dies don't move. But since I have fairly straight plates, I'm just going to press down and hold that until I get it started. And then I'm going to run it through. And I only have to do that once because I'm only using 1 layer of cardstock. So let's bring that up. And we're going to lay these number 2, 4, and 6 down. And as you can see, this is all of the scrap that we have. So we have 3 different pieces here. We have 1, 2, and 3. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in the inside. And we are going to use base number 3 for that. And I'm just one hem down here in the corner. So that's how I'm going to have it. I'm going to lay this in here and I'm going to cut my inside out. And there we have the inside of our card. And I'll just lay that to the side. Now we're going to bring in a piece, and those pieces, I think I told you they were cut 5.5 by 6. I'm bringing in cherry cobbler that's cut 5.5 by 5.5, and I'm using die number 3 and die number 5. And we're going to do just like we did on the other one. We're going to cut both of these at the same time instead of making 2 cuts. So we're actually doing 4 cuts instead of 7 cuts. Much easier to do this way. I know it scares some people, but don't be scared. It works out. It's handmade. Okay, let's get the dies. We're all done with all of those dies. So we used 6 dies, made 4 cuts. We have all these pieces. So let's set this out of our way. And this, the next thing I'm going to do and let it dry is I'm going to go ahead. This is a piece of scrap right here. And I am going to just stamp Merry Christmas because I'm going to cut it out. Do a little fussy cut, and my stamp pad does not want to go in. I bought new stamp pads. I'm trying to replace my old ones with the new. And actually I have an order coming tomorrow and it should be the end. I should have them all replaced. So I'm just going to stamp that down. There's my Merry Christmas. Okay, let's close this up. I'm messy. Don't want to be messy, as you can tell by the looks of this. Okay, let's bring this stuff back in that you can see. And we are going to build the card, and then I'll cut out that Merry Christmas. So here's our card base. I'm going to go ahead and glue my inside in to get rid of that piece out of my way. So let's just take our glue. Must have picked up the bottle that I don't use a lot because it was not up at the top. So we're going to take this and it's going to go right in here. Okay. And there is our inside. So now we can do the outside. So the first thing that we are going to do on the outside is we have these 2 and we have these 3. Okay. That is, So we have 5 pieces that's going to be stacked on top of here. We're going to take this as our first one, the biggest circle out of the stamped image. Right here are trees. So we want to line those trees up to be straight on our card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it down just like this. And I don't want to get glue at the top right here because that comes up over our fold, okay? So I know right here I really don't want glue. So I'm just going to take and do a thin line of glue because I know a thin line will hold it. Bring that up, and I want my trees straight. Then I will just rub that down, and there's our piece that's up. And that will not interfere with opening our card. See how that just opens? Doesn't interfere with it. So our next piece we're going to bring in is our circle out of the cherry cobbler. And it's going to go on top right here. And we're just going to center it. So you just want to add your adhesive right around and we're just going to put that on and make it as even as we can by eyeballing it. And I don't have really even eyeballs, but that's okay. Then I just rub that around to make sure that is stuck. Our next piece we're going to bring in is our other smaller circle. And we're going to line our trees up with these trees. So we want to make sure that those are at least in line. And then that'll make his little back end. Whoops, my computer went away. The back end of him lined up over here. So we want to do that. We're doing it the same way. We're just... And after you get your circles cut, this is the easiest card in the world to do. And really doing the circles the way I did them is very easy anyway. So I'm going to line that tree trunk up. And I'll pull this out a little bit as it's lined up. Let's bring it down just a little bit. And make sure his little oops. I need to bring this just a little higher on this side. If I can. Pull that back up. There we go. So we make sure that's all down. Then we're going to bring in this solid circle and it's going to go over that. Just covers it. So we're just doing the outside again. Just always do the outside edges of these. And that you're just going to line up. Well, I better hold on to it, I guess. I'm trying to get this up a little bit. There we go. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to line this up. And here again, you can look at the deer head here and his body here and the tree trunk and line that up. And here it doesn't matter, you got a solid circle there, so if you go in a little bit, it's okay. So I kind of look at the deer first and line him up. So there's your card made. And that is him done with the inside. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take the two pieces of that I cut. These are the two pieces I cut out of the, let's bring the camera back down so you can see this part. This is out of the gold metallic paper, and then this is out of Mossy Meadow. And the gold metallic paper is this, it's called Dazzle, and it's Dazzle 6x6. There's two colors, it's like a champagne, and then there's a bright gold. I used the champagne color. And you get, I think, 1, 2, 3, you get 4 of each in a pack. But that's how that comes, and it's good for accents. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these apart. So I'm just going to take and cut this like right here. And I'm going to cut this one down here a little bit. These are extra pieces I don't need. And what I'm going to do, because I don't want glue at the top, when I glue my bow down, I don't want glue on it. So I'm going to take these two and kind of hold them together. And I'm going to put a glue dot back here. And I had my glue dots, there they are. Started to say I had them out this morning, so they should be here. So I'm just going to take a glue dot, and I'm still using these crazy glue dots on the wrong side of the paper. Don't know that it caught my, whoops, got the other one stuck on my finger. Goodness. Might have to put another one on my piece of, and I'm going to stick that right here in the center of the trees. Now that's going to stay down. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in a bow, and I already have my bow made. And I use the gold edged ribbon, this right here. It's called satin edged ribbon right here to make my bow. It's really pretty, and you can actually color those with your blends if you wanted to make it a color. But I'm going to put 2 glue dots on the back to hold it down good, and also it'll hold on that greenery. So I have those on, and I'm just going to put that at the top, like so. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this Merry Christmas, and I'm just going to fussy cut it out. I'm just going to didn't want all that hitting the back of my hand as I was going around this, so just cut that off. Not much to hold on to down there. So let's bring that up. And there we go. We have Merry Christmas. And I'm going to use some, I'm actually going to cut this off right there. Save my scrap. It'll make me another one when I get ready for that. And I am just taking these extra ends, and I'm cutting them small. And I'm going to turn my Merry Christmas over. And we'll just add some of these dots. I thought, you know, we might as well use up every bit of this stuff that we can. So that's what I'm doing. And I cut 5 little pieces, and 5 little pieces did it. Okay, so that should hold it up pretty good. And I'm using scrap. Sounds like somebody's outside cutting their grass, and it is cold outside here. It's probably my husband, because he would do something like that. Okay, so here we go, and I'm just going to put that about right here. Lay it down. And there's our finished card. So what do you think? Whoops, I'm not in camera, because I had my camera pulled down, didn't I? So there we go. There's the one I just made. There's my sample. And that, I hope you liked it. It's a nice way to use these decal dies. Now, like I said, and what I did is I took, I'll turn it over backwards. This was a 6x9 envelope I had. And I just cut it to 6 1/4, and then on the inside I put a little strip of glue and just pressed it down so that that was glued, and so this still stuck. So I made my own 6x6 envelope out of a piece of 6x9 envelope, because I didn't have any, and I want to mail that today. Or tomorrow, sometime soon. So, that is it for the video. And remember, you can go to my Facebook group, which is called Stamp Crazy VIP. All the information is below in the description of where you can go and get the PDF and stuff. So, you know, be happy for you to do that and be able to do the card. I hope you liked it. I hope you try it. And even with some different designs. I mean, this could be used for a lot of different designs. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you have a great day. And we will be seeing you again. And happy Halloween, since today is Halloween. Bye.